for Emil Frey Racing, the Swiss squad. Thierry Vermeulen and his teammate is on pole this time with Kelvin van der Linde for company. Then it's Luca Stoltz and Jack Aitken. Row 3, Luca Engstler and Thomas Preining. Maro Engel and Jordan Pepper are next up on the 4th row. Engin Nguyen and Sheldon van der Linde complete the top 10. Mirko Bortolotti, the championship leader, 11th. An excellent effort from Clement Schmid in 12th. Lucas Auer and Ricardo Feller next up, 13th and 14th, ahead of Niki Tim and Ben Durr. Max Powell and Arjun Maini are up next. And then watch out for these two, Marco Wittmann and René Rast. Round 12 of DTM 2024 about to get underway. The red lights are on. The roar kicks off and we are racing here at the Sachsenring. It's a very good start for the Ferrari. Kelvin van der Linde has got company though for second place. Lucas Stoltz, he's trying to get up the inside of him in the Mercedes. Can he do it? No, he's got the Ferrari of Jack Aitken just behind as well. Yes, he gets through now on the way out of the corner. And Kelvin van der Linde going backwards at the moment, losing 1 or 2 places. So Lucas Stoltz up to second place. Luca Engstler has come through to 3rd, 4th, it looks like, for Kelvin van der Linde.
I'm not thinking about the championship, you think?
I don't care what Mirko does, I don't care what Maro does, I'm just doing my own race. First question he asks, where are they?
Well, the answer is 9th place, Mirko Bortolotti, so there's your answer.
Yeah, and Maro Engel gained 1 on that first lap of the race, first couple of corners to get himself up to 6th place. Here's Kelvin again.
3 times by Aitken, man. 3 times, bro.
Yes, copy. Cool down, cool down. I saw, all good.
Kelvin's the angriest man on the radio this weekend, isn't he?
Yeah, race engineer, part-time race engineer, part-time therapist. Got to keep the driver cool, not just with temperature. That's a result here at the Sachsenring. Lucas Auer feeling the pressure of Sheldon van der Linde. That's for 11th place.
Yeah, what a start from René Rast. Just nothing to lose. He'll be so frustrated that can't count as your mandatory pit stop. We're not in the window. So real bad luck there.
Can't get into the pits because of the queue of cars.
Oh, no way through. Stranded there, wasn't he? It's like trying to get off a motorway exit when you're in the wrong lane, isn't it? He just couldn't get off. This is going to be agonising. So Sheldon van der Linde's misfortune here, and well, at least he makes it back, but that is now almost completely off the rim, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's going to put him absolutely stone last in this race and scoring points.
And there is the Audi as we get side-by-side action here with Arjun Maini alongside Clement Schmid. Arjun was already in front. Clement is the one going on the attack, trying to get through. That's a nice move around the outside into turn 3. Will he make it stick? The Austrian does just about get there, and he'll be on the inside line for the left-hander coming up. But Arjun Maini fights back now. On the grass goes Clement Schmid absolutely together. The Indian driver is going to make life difficult, but in the end, the Austrian comes through. That was a very nicely executed move, wasn't it?
And that was very entertaining. Good, clean racing. Both drivers giving each other room. Arjun Maini perhaps just getting the elbows out a little, but Clement Schmid not backing off for anything, and he knew exactly what he was doing there, didn't he?
He did indeed. Oh, poor Ricardo.
Going flying. Max Powell would see that just in front of him. That's just before the waterfall.
To luck away to blink even around here.
Look, that's where the bollard went. I don't know who we're looking back from there, because the pit window is a great opportunity. Maybe he won't need to wait for the window, though, because Kelvin van der Linde now alongside Luca Engstler coming down the waterfall towards turn 12. Oh, scrubbed that previous comment.
Luca going slower. Well, Luca on that previous lap did a 1:22.1. They may have just had a moment somewhere, and that was all the invitation that Kelvin van der Linde required, and he pulls off a René Rast style brave move on that way into turn 12, the fastest part of the circuit, over 250 kilometres an hour. Yeah, just ran a little bit wide, didn't he, coming out of turn 10 through 11 and down the waterfall, and that was all the invitation Kelvin needed, so that made life a little bit easier.
Long way back to Kelvin van der Linde in 3rd place.
Absolutely, and Luca Engstler keeping a check on the mirrors now, because the Ferrari of Jack Aitken is his next problem, and he gets alongside him into turn 1. Going to carry the momentum around the outside. Jack then tucks back in behind. So rears first, then fronts. Only 6 can work on the car. One of them, he's on the lollipop and looking to do this stationary time in less than 7 seconds if you can. Luca Engstler stays ahead of Jack Aitken. Needed to do that.
It was a traffic jam in the pits. Jack Aitken on the inside of Luca Engstler, at least trying to make that stick, but Luca Engstler in front. Mirko Bortolotti behind. Maro Engel, Sheldon van der Linde. Of course, Sheldon yet to pit, so they're running together on track. But a lot of teams opting to pit early. There are just 7 cars that have yet to make their stop.
Yeah, and Maro Engel with one of his championship rivals, brothers breathing down his neck here. But it is Lukas Stolz, the leading pit stopper. The green numbers on your graphic there on the screen show that they've been in the pits and got their stop out of the way. So Lukas Stolz, Arjun Maini is off the road.
Wheel off as well, that's nice.
Yeah. So one of the right side wheels has come adrift for
Turn
Arjun
8.
Maini. After a good day yesterday and that 5th place finish for the driver, 7th in the championship, and it was the right rear that parted company with the Mercedes, and straight on he went. And again, could have been at a worse place, that, Brian. If it had come off on that huge quick run down into turn 12, for example, that would have been horrible.
Yes, that would have been very nasty, but the wheel bouncing up into the air, the gravel trap doing a very good job. So a lot of teams have opted to pull the pin quickly. Those that hadn't stopped, I think only 2 have not stopped now. You saw the view from the perspective of Max Powell as Arjun Maini went spearing off into the gravel. Our first retirement of the race.
Yeah, Arjun Maini under investigation for unsafe release from the pit, which sort of backs up what you were saying about that. Seems to be 1 + 1 = 2. Thankfully, the tyre barrier did its job in defending, and Marshall's there behind Thomas Preining, 6.4 seconds for his stationary time, and you know he won't have hung around on the in or the out laps either.
So Jordan Pepper having a little look to the inside of Iron Changuin. Marco Wittmann trying to emulate his teammate from yesterday, going late in the window, in the pit window. In the meantime, AB Sportsline have decided to call it a day with Riccardo Fallo. The Audi has been wheeled into the garage, and it looks like his day is over.
Lucas Auer is the driver that's actually had the best average pit stop time so far this year. It's 6.8 seconds. Winwood have been flying in that respect. Look at this, Jordan Pepper on the inside of René Rast. Nudges him out of the way. Excuse me, he says, I'm coming through. Nicky Tim tries to get involved as well, but probably sensibly backs off out of that. Penalty lap. It's come up on the, as we see the replay of this, contact between Jordan Pepper and René Rast. 3 times champion, I don't care, I'm coming through, he says. Yes, and the reason for the penalty lap, they were investigating a problem and infringement in the pit stop, which revolved around a mechanic not holding onto the wheel.
And if he sees a gap, he's likely to fill it. Nicky Tim also rushing to join that battle. He's more than joining it. He's challenging René Rast along the pit straight in towards turn 1. The BMW appears to have more horsepower, but now Rast with a little piss inside of Jordan Pepper into Marco Wittmann. Both cars into the gravel on turn 1.
Cannonball into the back of Wittmann, his teammate. Due to going into the back of Pepper, both in the gravel. There is a safety car as well as a result of this. René Rast tries the move into Jordan Pepper. Marco's a car and a half length clear. Marco just sees this gold Lamborghini coming into him, so you can understand why he's annoyed with Jordan Pepper, but when he realises, when he sees the replay, he'll realise that it wasn't Jordan, it was Jordan being cannonballed into him after the hit from René Rast.
And to make matters worse, of course, Rast being Marco Wittmann's teammate. Rast will argue that he had his nose in the gap. That really was a snookering of the gold and black car into Marco Wittmann, wasn't it?
Yeah, a massive hit, wasn't it? Look at the back of the BMW, and that's a big, strong car. But main thing is that both drivers are okay, because that could have been pretty horrible. Yeah, you're absolutely right. René will, his argument will be, look, I got the inside, I was going for the move, the door closed. But Marco Wittmann was completely blameless in all of that, wasn't he? He was in the wrong place. Yeah. Hadn't kept Jordan Pepper behind him on his outlap, maybe none of that would have happened. I mean, you can't do anything, can't predict it, can you? You can't do anything about it. Green flags, here we go again. Thierry Vermeulen's lead, of course, has been wiped out as well. That's not ideal. Lukas Stolz is now with him, although it's a really good restart for the young Dutch driver, side by side for third. Maro Engel in third in the championship, trying to come around Kelvin van der Linde. Thomas Preining sees a gap up the inside in the Porsche and splits the fight up. Gets in between them. So Thomas... Thanks very much, Farina. Good to get both sides of the story. Now, Thierry Vermeulen is under investigation for a pit stop infringement. We just saw picture-in-picture, a replay of his pit stop there, and Certainly it didn't look like the wheels spinning on the jacks. The only thing I can see is maybe they're looking at whether one of the mechanics didn't put the wheel off the tarmac, where we get battles here with Arjen Guwen diving down the inside of the Liqui Moly back Lamborghini of Luca Engstler, who's now slowing right down and is tumbling down the order, and I'm afraid is headed for retirement involving contact. Let's get a replay of the move, and he again there just comes in, turns in, finds the Porsche of Guwen down the inside. Kind of wasn't that dissimilar, was it, to the lines that we saw with Rene Rast and Jordan Pepper? But he was on the curb at Arjen Guwen as he came through. And a penalty lap is coming the way of the race leader, Thierry Vermeulen. So for a pit stop infringement, that's going to cost him 5 seconds as Luca Engstler, with a right rear puncture, tries to get the crippled Lamborghini back. A real shame. He was looking like a good top 10 finish for Luca Engstler. 7 between them, 7-point lead for Kelvin van der Linde and 155 for Maro Engel. We're back where we started at the start of the weekend, a 7-point lead for Kelvin van der Linde. Sheldon van der Linde, his brother, has been getting stuck in since the safety car restart as well. He's going side by side here with the Porsche of Arjen Guwen. He goes on the grass, he goes on the curbs, tries to find a gap, gives a little nudge there to the right rear corner of the Porsche, and he comes through in a pretty unusual spot there to pick up a move on the way through turn 7. Because they said it's not a fair move. This is the one that goes off the track to get up the inside. You can't do that, say the officials. You've got to give the place back, and that means Arjen Guwen will be let back up into 8th place as a result of all of that.
You also saw in the slow-mo Luca Engstler's right rear wheel, and you can see why he was going so slowly. That had that big impact and was wobbling. I'm surprised that Arjen Guwen's wheels are all pointing at the Porsche and the BMW, showing how strong they are.
Yeah, and he's already let Guwen back through. Goes way off the track there, doesn't he? Coming out of turn 10. And that...
I don't have any chance. Closest I can get is 200 meters.
120 kilometres, 230 kilometres an hour, then he'll slow it down. And for the first time in a year, Mercedes are going to take a victory in the DTM. It is Luca Stolz that delivers that victory once again with his 3rd win in the DTM.
What a race, my friend. What a race. Well done. Finally. Took us long to win a race. Thank you, guys.
I don't think Thierry Vermeulen is quite over what's been taken away from him, is he? He looks very despondent, I'm afraid to say. Understandably so, Brian, but he has done a great job today, and it is still a podium finish.
Yes, I was going to say he silenced the critics in terms of driving, but he never really had any critics. It was only a matter of time before he was going to stand on the podium. Sadly, the 3rd step on this occasion. I get a feeling we might be seeing him there again sometime soon.
Yeah, but you know what? When you have bad luck and a bad day like this and heartbreak and it comes away from you, when you do finally get that win, it'll feel even better. Because you know what you've got through to get there. Luca Stolz has had hard times in the past. He is now enjoying a great moment on the top step of the podium, and the HRT team representative will come up as well to join the celebrations as the winning team. But now it is time for the German national anthem. Dr. Jochen Schroeder will now present the trophy to the race winner. The man from the Scheffler Group presents this fine-looking trophy to Luca Stolz, who raises it aloft and is cheered on from down below. And then our next trophy from Peter Weidlinger from the ADAC in this part of the world, the Saxon region, presents that to the championship leader, Kelvin van der Linde. As ever, the South African flag's out in force. And Norbert Haug will present the 3rd place trophy to the driver that almost got his 1st win, but has got his 1st podium in the DTM. Bittersweet for Thierry Vermeulen. Will be the championship shootout. We know it is almost certainly going to go down to the last weekend and probably the last race of the season. And knowing the DTM, the last corner of the last lap of the last race of the season, it is wide open. It is DTM. Enjoy, everybody. Thanks very much. Yeah, Luca Stolz there. Well, yes, I suppose in one sense he was lucky to be. He was there to pick up the pieces, wasn't he? And he did drive very, very well this weekend.